Welcome to Stark Raving Social, the podcast for comms pros who want to stay ahead in a world that won't stop changing. Your host is Sherry Lynn Starkey, social media strategist, industry pioneer, and trusted advisor to brands navigating the digital landscape. With decades of experience in marketing, PR, and social media, she's here to bring you the insights, strategies, and conversations you need to stay ahead of the curve. From shifting algorithms to AI-driven content, from crisis comms to culture shifts, if it's shaping the future of our industry, you'll hear about it here. This is Stark Raving Social.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Sherry Lynn Starkey and this is Stark Raving Social. Today I want to talk about something that's been lighting up social media lately, something that started as a simple phrase and has turned into a rallying cry for Canadians everywhere. Elbows up. Canada. If you're Canadian, you already know what elbows up means. It's a hockey term, a way of saying we're not playing nice anymore, or get ready, things are about to get rough. But over the past week, it's taken on a whole new meaning. It's become a message of defiance, unity, and national pride, all sparked by Trump's latest round of tariffs. Now, social media gets a bad rap. People love to talk about how it's divisive, toxic, a mess of misinformation and outrage. And sure, sometimes it is. But this past week, something different happened. I ran an analysis of how elbows up and hashtag elbows up were used on social media over the past 7 days, and what I found was fascinating. The phrase elbows up had significantly more engagement than hashtag elbows up, meaning it wasn't just a hashtag people were jumping on, it became part of everyday conversation. Sentiment analysis showed a 57.9% positive response for elbows up, a mix of Canadian pride and support for one another. However, hashtag elbows up was more evenly split, 49.3% positive, 50.7% negative, likely reflecting both the anger and the determination to fight back. The biggest spike in engagement happened on March 4th as the U.S. imposed tariffs and Trump bragged about it in his speech to Congress. Canadians had been hoping for a deal, and when it didn't happen, the frustration exploded online. And it didn't just stay on X or Facebook. I saw posts on Blue Sky too, with many Canadians actively choosing to move their conversations away from the platform owned by billionaire Elon Musk, who, let's not forget, is now working for Trump. What's even more interesting is that elbows up wasn't being used in a coordinated, campaign-driven way. It wasn't a top-down movement. It was organic. It resonated across demographics, including people who don't typically engage in political discussions online. Mike Myers is a catalyst. On Saturday Night Live, he walked out during the closing sequence in a Canada is not for sale t-shirt, looked straight into the camera, and mimed elbows up, Canada throwing his arms in that classic hockey move, elbows out, ready for a battle. That moment cemented elbows up as more than just a social media trend. It became a symbol of national defiance, a reminder that we may be polite, but we're not pushovers. And let's be clear, this isn't just about tariffs. Trump has a long history of treating Canada like an afterthought. He's called us the 51st state. He's referred to our prime minister as a governor. He's dismissed our sovereignty like we're nothing more than an extension of the U.S. Canadians are furious about that. We know we have to stand our ground, not just in trade, but in how we are perceived and treated on the world stage. That's why elbows up means more than just fighting back on tariffs. It means buying Canadian, thinking twice about American vacations, and being loud and unapologetic about protecting our country. And this is where I bring it back to social media. We spend so much time talking about the negatives of social media, how it divides, spreads hate, amplifies disinformation. And yeah, that happens. But this past week, it brought us together. It let Canadians, ordinary, everyday people, unite in defiance, support each other, and turn frustration into action. So, if you ever feel like social media is nothing but a toxic wasteland, remember this. Remember how it gave us a voice when we needed it. Remember how it turned a simple phrase into a national movement. Remember how it reminded us that no matter what, we stand together. Canada is not for sale. And when we're backed into a corner, we don't back down, we throw our elbows up. Thanks for listening. If this episode resonated with you, share it, tag a friend, and let's keep this momentum going. Elbows up, Canada. I'm Sherry Lynn Starkey, and this is Stark Raving Social.
That's a wrap on this episode of Stark Raving Social. Thanks for tuning in. If you got value from today's show, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you know a fellow comms pro who could use these insights, share the podcast and help them stay ahead in a world that won't stop changing. Until next time, keep learning, keep adapting, and keep making an impact.